In this video, I'm going to talk about how to create Elastic file system and attach to an EC2 server. So currently, my AWS estate is configured like this. So there is a VPC and there are two public subnets and two private subnets. And in one public subnet, one EC2 server is running. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an EFS share, which is nothing but the file system or shared file system. I want to attach it to EC2. So let me go to AWS Management Console. Now, in order to create EFS, I will go to EFS service. It's a managed file storage for EC2. Currently, there exists one file system, but I'm going to create a new one here. So I click on create file system. And here I need to do a lot of configurations. And here I'm going to select VPC. So there are many VPCs in my account. So I'm going to use demo VPC. And in this demo VPC, there are various subnets. My EC2 instance is running in the public subnet. So I'm going to use those subnets so as to create this EFS share. And if you look at this documentation, AWS recommends to create a mount target in each of your VPCs AZ so that EC2 instances across your VPC can access the file system. So I'm just going to ensure that I'm selecting both the subnets in different AZ. I've selected both the public subnets and I'm going to use the security group, which is default security group. I go to next step and then I can give a tag. I'm going to say name is demo EFS, and I generally use a resource group which allows me to organize my resources in a group. So I can, using resource group feature of AWS, I can just go to resource group and see all the resources which are in the resource group. So I'm just going to specify resource group as demo. And there is something known as enable lifecycle management. Now EFS has kind of two storage classes. One is called standard and second one is IA or infrequent access storage class. If you are familiar with S3, now S3 also have similar concepts. So as the name suggests, infrequent access is something which you should use when you are accessing the files infrequently. And you can save some money. So you can save 92% of your EFS bill as your access pattern changes by enabling lifecycle management. So I'm going to select lifecycle policy equal 7 days since last access. So if I don't access any file for 7 days, then those files will be moved to IA storage class. Similarly, there is a throughput mode which is called bursting and provisioned. Provision is basically gives you steady or consistent throughput. Bursting scales as per the storage. So if the storage increases, EFS is going to give you better throughput. So I'm just going to keep rest of the defaults as it is. Performance mode, I'm going to keep it general purpose. Enable encryption. If you want to enable encryption, you can do that as well. And I go to next step. You can also set up file system policy so as to disable root access, enforce read-only access, and so on. Similarly, if there are multiple applications accessing this EFS, then you can set the access points for each application and control the access rights for specific application. I'm just going to accept everything as default, click on next step, and I'm going to create file system. Now this will take few seconds. All right, so if you look at the mount target state, it is saying it's creating, so it will take some time. And it is also going to create something known as Elastic Network Interface or ENI. And it has also allocated an IP address to both these interfaces. I'm just going to refresh this. After some time, it should be ready to use. So meanwhile, I'm going to connect to my EC2 instance. So currently I'm having only one instance running. So I'm going to go to my terminal. I'm going to say SSH -I EC2-user @ and I'm going to take my public IP. Now, in order to mount this EFS, we have to execute certain instructions on this EC2. Now, the EC2 which I'm using is an Amazon Linux 2 AMI. You can use EFS util package provided by Amazon so as to mount your EFS on your EC2. So let's see the status of EFS. Alright, so it is mount target is state is available, so I can use this. And if you look at this particular file system access, it provides you instructions for mounting on EC2. So if you are mounting it to local VPC, you can look at these instructions. It is also possible that instances running across VPC or another VPC can access the same file system provided these VPCs are connected using VPC peering. Similarly, on-premise servers can also use EFS provided those are connected via Direct Connect or VPN. So I'm going to use this Amazon EC2 mount instruction from local VPC. So I'm going to just install this particular helper package. I'm just going to go to my EC2 box so as to install this util package. And then if I go to my Elastic file system, look at my instructions, I'm going to execute one more command. I'm just going to copy these. Also, I'm going to make a directory EFS and I'm just going to paste these instructions. Now what is happening is that this EC2 instance is trying to connect to that EFS. If I go back to my EFS configuration, and you will see ENIs are created and associated with this security group. Now these security groups are not configured so as to allow traffic from other instances. So I need to go to my EC2 and I will go to Elastic Network Interfaces and I'm just going to search on EFS. Now there are 4 network interfaces because currently I am having 2 file systems. So I'm just going to use the one which is used by the current file system, which is ENI ending with CC4 and ENI ending with 1B. So I'm just going to use this one. If I take this CC4 and if I look at security groups of this, then it is allowing traffic to only this security group. So I need to change this. So I'm going to go inside the security group and modify it. And I'm going to say allow inbound rules, edit inbound rules, add rule, and I'm going to allow traffic from my specific EC2 instance. So I'm going to say custom and I need to get hold of the private IP. So what is the private IP? Private IP is 10.0.028. So 10.0.0.208/32. My demo public instance. Let's say save rules. So let's see whether it works or not. So I'm going to execute this command again. And this time it has worked because now we have allowed access from this particular EC2 instance to the EFS. So let me go to my EFS folder. I'm already inside the EFS folder and I'm going to say sudo mkdir EFS folder. And I can make any file over here, sudo vim index.html file inside my EFS. So that's it, the way the EFS is configured. And if you go back to our VPC diagram, if you have any other instance, let's say maybe in the same subnet or in any other subnet, then it can use the same EFS file share. So ideally this is used for content sharing or wherever you see a use case where you need to share the content. So it could be your big data application doing analytics, it could be web serving content and so on. I can also delete a file system and I can delete my file system which I'm not going to use, and after some time they should get deleted. So that's all for this video and I will see you in subsequent videos. Thanks for watching. If you like it, please share it and subscribe to my channel.